Good morning, everyone. Hope you are having a lovely day. We are past the middle of the week, so that's kind of nice. We're already into Thursday. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about how to choose a metaphysical store or a botanica or a root worker or a spellcaster or anything that provides you with metaphysical or spiritual services. Um, if you are shopping online specifically, this is particularly applying to root workers and spellcasters, fortune tellers, tarot readers, etc. They should 100% have a website. You should not be left with the only option to Cash App or Venmo or these types of options to pay people. The problem is that if something goes wrong, there's no, and by wrong, I mean your services weren't rendered. Not that you didn't get the results that you wanted, because that's different. But, if you literally paid for something and then never got anything for exchange, there is no way to rectify that and to make you whole again financially. So, with a website where the spiritual advisor or spiritual worker is required to have a credit card terminal, to pay those fees to a credit card company, to use PayPal, etc., you have some recourse there if something happens. So, the other thing about having a professional website, and it doesn't have to be, um, you know, sparkly and fancy and polished, it really doesn't. Um, but one thing that a website will give you is that it presents to you a body of work of someone. So you essentially should get to see their portfolio of their body of work. And what I mean by this is they should, if this is what they are doing for a living and they have been serving clients, even if it's for a short amount of time. Now, I don't recommend hiring someone that's like, been in the game 3 months or 6 months, but if they have, and they have a lot of um, photos that you can feel a connection to with their work, you can see their work and feel a connection to it, then by all means do you. Um, but they should have photos of their work or of their readings, since they are doing this work and doing readings. Now, so what happens if you are a person trying to start to do this professionally? And so you haven't had any clients yet. You should still be taking photographs of the altars you're setting up, of the holy days that you are communing on, um, any spell work that you do for yourself or friends or family, obviously with their permission, items that you make and that you use yourself that you haven't quite sold yet to the public. You should be photographing everything that you are creating. And if you are creating an altar or creating a spell setup or creating a reading or creating a day of reverence, and so you're celebrating with certain foods and flowers, etc., to honor a spirit you work with, you need to be documenting this. For one, it's educational purposes. This is how people learn now, okay? I don't want to say gone are the days of people buying books on magic and witchcraft and folk magic and tarot and paganism and all of the little intricacies and nuances of folk magic that filter down in between all of those. But most people have access to the internet for free. And this is the biggest educational platform for this now. Social media, writing articles online. I still keep a blog. I still keep a YouTube channel because I want to keep those avenues open for people who are comfortable. They prefer YouTube. They prefer the blog. They, etc. So, it's really important to make sure that you are posting these things for educational content. So, providing free resources is something that the witchcraft community has always done. We have always been good about that. Now, that's not to say that I believe that people shouldn't get paid for their work. I do. But you can do both. You charge accordingly for your work, and you also provide resources. So that's another area where a website comes along, is that you can go on my website and you can read under the items or that the spellwork services that I offer, and I can tell you where that was derived from, where it originated from, the history behind it, especially when it comes to things like formulas and curios and things used in folk magic, southern conjure, hoodoo, etc. So you should be able to go on their site and they should be able to provide you some information about their products and services that is based in actual history of these traditions. If they're not, that is kind of a red flag to me that maybe they don't know it. And you should not be, if you don't know the history of something, if you don't know where it originated, I don't think that that is something that it's going to be difficult for you to promote that seriously. You see what I'm saying? If you don't know the context of it, it's going to be difficult for people to find that particular spiritual worker trustworthy if they don't, they don't really know the origins of what they're talking about. Now, I would say another big thing right now with finding someone to follow and learn from and purchase products from and purchase services from is be very careful. There's a lot of red flags out there with this, is that I do not recommend purchasing spellwork services from someone who is on their social media, like constantly screaming about things in their personal life that are going wrong. This is just, I mean, you're not going to go hire a mechanic whose car is always broke down, right? This is just common sense and logic here. If somebody is constantly just really overly emotional and like dramatic and angry over circumstances in their life that are repeating, and they are just constantly in a spiral of like lack and like anger and lack and anger and accidents happening and anger, this is not someone that, if you think about this in general, this isn't a person that you would hang out with in general, okay? Most of us aren't interested in being around people like this. It's really toxic energy. They often have very little to offer you and they constantly take. And it's not going to be dissimilar if you hire them for a service. So just be aware of the sort of theatrics out there, the videos that look really forced, the videos that look really performative, and like, you know, it's like sort of these, they create these like fake dilemmas so that they have something to rant about, okay? This should give you a real sense of falseness in this person. And this is not, when somebody gives you a sense of falseness, this means that you should not trust them. And I know a lot of people struggle with red flags, and so I'm trying to help you out here by making this as clear as possible and in the most gentle way as possible. So you want to look for somebody who has a history of stability online and with their business, okay? They're not constantly like losing their business or constantly moving and losing their house. And these are not things that you want with a spiritual worker, okay? You want calmness and stability and rationale and even thinking and even temper and a critical thinking ability, okay, in order to help you solve your problems. So I hope that was helpful. As always, comment below if you have any questions. I'm wishing you guys all the best, prosperity, abundance, blessings of protection, peace, and health to you all, and have a beautiful rest of the week.